Kaiju and Kaiju number 8. What are they? How do they work? What are their powers? What do they do? You know, all of that good stuff. First thing you need to know that there are 3 different classifications of kaiju, okay? First classification is Yoju, second Honju, and then third Daikaiju. I'm gonna break down each and every one of these ones, alright? So just stick with me here. The first classification, Yoju, is the weakest classification of kaiju. They usually come in packs most of the time because they get formed from Hoju. Their fortification level is going to be about 6 or lower. And then you got Honju, there's going to be usually 6 or higher, but they never really break past a certain point unless they become a Daikaiju, which is a special form of Honju. So think of the Honju like the leader of the kaiju of the Yoju, right? So you have the Honju that created the Yoju, and then you have them as like the puppets. So like they just go out and do whatever that you basically need them to go do. They get their powers and abilities from a thing called a unit organ. Each kaiju has different various abilities or different strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. So some kaijus, their cores are, sometimes their cores can be set in a specific area. Sometimes they're able to willfully move their core. Basically their core is like their heart. So like if their core gets done, they're done. So that's how you know that you got it. Daikaiju level threats are usually not that common because usually they get identified with numbers because they're so strong, right? The strongest Daikaiju now is actually Kaiju number 8. So he has a fortitude level of 9.8, which is the highest in history. So he's the strongest so far. Second, we will say, is number 6 because some stuff went down, killed like 200 officers, and then I think like two captains. So like that was devastating. And then third, I'll probably say number 9 right now because number 9 is going crazy in these recent chapters because he's making all of these other kaijus and they're getting identified numbers and stuff. So then you got all the people trying to power up, so you just gonna have to read it for yourself if you don't already know. And every kaiju varies in size, so just because one's bigger doesn't mean that it's gonna be stronger than the other one. You just gotta understand that like just because it's bigger doesn't mean it's better. Very beginning of the first volume, you'll see the first kaiju you'll see is right there. They'll say that the fortitude level is at a 6. They said that it was the biggest emergence, I think, that year or something like that. It was something like that. So that would probably be classified as a Honju. Maybe it depends on like what the abilities of it could have done because we don't really know what it could have did because it got knocked out so fast. So it could be Honju level, it could have been Yoju level. So just because a kaiju could be a Daikaiju level threat doesn't mean it's going to be a numbered kaiju, okay? It doesn't mean it's going to be a numbered, identify as a number, because the numbers are very specific to specifically strong kaiju. Like kaiju number 8, for example, it's the strongest they've ever seen. 9.8, that's almost 10. That's almost breaking what they've ever seen ever, which was number 6, because number 6 was 9 point, I think it was 9.3, I think 9.3 or 9.6, one of the two. If you think about the fortitude level of all of these different kaijus that I've just exampled, kaiju number 8, kaiju number 6, and kaiju number 9, right? If you think about these power levels that all of these kaiju have, it's actually pretty bananas because like they all have the ability to do things that are like really powerful. Like kaiju number 8 be punching kaijus and it just explodes. It'll just completely explode. Kaiju number 9, he can absorb number weapons. Like I don't know, that's a spoiler, but if you don't know that, hey man, that's not my fault. You should already know. Eventually number 9 and number 8 is gonna have to battle it out one-on-one, bro, and I can't wait till that day. That day's gonna be crazy. And number 6 was very like frost based, so like his powers were very ice based, and it was able to really do a lot of damage to pretty much the entire defense force. The entire defense force was struggling after that. It just decimated families, bruh. Whole families got decimated. So number 6 was on a whole different level, known as the king of the kaiju. I actually think, based off of like what I saw from the panel, it kind of looked like Godzilla a little bit, but I don't know if that's a little reference that Matsumoto did, but if it is, I peeped the reference, bro. I peeped the reference. Now, I would like to go into numbers weapons, but that's gonna be a whole nother separate video because I want you guys to be able to digest exactly what I just said, because in order for you to understand the levels of power that these numbers weapons can do based off of the users of these numbers weapons, then that's how, you know what I mean, that's how you're really gonna be able to understand. So I'm gonna save that for a whole nother video. Go over those. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.